welcome to PNZ. This week's one, it will be short. I keep saying that, I know, but yeah, this week I did very little filming. Not sure what I'm going to title it. Obviously you would have read it by now, but yeah, could be just sand and clean. It's pretty simple what I've been doing all week. We'll have a quick walk around and I'll show you what I've been up to. So one of the things you'll see coming up in these clips are, I did a bit under the doghouse here. I've run the sander over what I can, because my intentions are obviously paint all this. Yeah, both sides. And got all the installation material off in the back there, which you're going to see. Did a chemical wash under the rest of the cab to clean it. I'll still get in there and attack that a bit more yet before I paint. Got a lot of prep work to do before I paint, obviously. Just a lot of sanding. Just been sanding non-stop, trying to work around those rivets. Got a lot of feathering work to do, because yeah, there's been a lot of layers of paint on this. And obviously where I can't get it off, I've got to try and feather it into what I have sanded. Just have a quick walk around here. So yeah, all that there, and tack the back there pretty good. Yeah, you're going to see it coming up, but did the brackets, got those done. Same on this side, not really a lot, just sanding. I know I still have to go a bit more yet. I'll use a different grip paper and just keep working away at it. Every time I walk past I notice something and I just have another go at it. Right, the other thing I've done is the window mask here. I've done a bit of body work on it. So we've got that shaped up before it gets riveted in or hucked in. I'm hoping to have the hardware to fit that for this coming week, and we'll move on to that, and that'll be the next thing to get done. Something else I'll show you. I ordered the, I pronounce it Butyl, I'm not sure how you meant to say it. So I'm gonna put that in between the mask and the cab, obviously, so that it'll get squeezed. I might have talked about it previously, but yeah, I want to stay with a product like that, so I'm not time restricted to try and get it put in. If I get halfway and something goes wrong or whatever, doesn't matter, it's still workable the next day. Right, the other thing I've done is driver's side here. It's been a bit of a slow day. I really achieved a lot today. Floor mat, mucked around trying to fit that in, but quite a bit of trimming required. Got the pedals mounted, got that in. That'll flop down, there's no valve underneath at the moment. And got the steering column refitted, got that in. Had to change out the indicator lever arm because the high-low switch was broken on the other one. So, don't know if it's going to work, find out one day. Redid the plumbing on the trailer control valve. And for you guys which are following me and already own a Pete or this model, you'll be saying, why is that on there? Well, so for some reason they put this on this truck. I know that you meant to have the one up over here on the dash, and someone had taken it out. Maybe the valve had failed for some reason, they couldn't repair it, I don't know, but they've rerun the lines to this valve here. So I'm going to leave this because this is obviously active and it works. My thoughts are for the other valve, as I say, they're only thoughts. Might look at putting some train type horns on this, because the horns on the roof are going to become non-operational. Just showing what I'm doing here. This is one of the mounting brackets for the horns to go onto the roof. So this one had broken off bolts in it. So I drilled the bolts and I checked the drill tap size before I did it. and I put the tap in there and it wasn't really good enough to bolt to. It wasn't going to work. So I thought about drilling it in oversized bolts and that, but the horn is actually threaded before it goes into this as well, so I don't want to muck around with that. So my option is I've drilled this out. I'm just going to turn a bit of material down to size, hopefully press that into the hole and drill and tack back to the standard size, which is quarter, I think. I have to check on that. So that's what I'm up to. Turned up the little bushings or sleeves, whatever you want to call them, threaded them in the lathe. I'm just gonna, that one's a fraction loose in there. I can press that in. I'll just Loctite it in there, that'll work. It's got a bit of a burr, so it'll grab at the end bit there, hit it down flush. So another little job done. To show you the next little drama I'm having. It's just thought I'll muck around and check the hardware on the roof for mounting of lights and that. So yeah, ordered these lights, as you know, off Amazon, and they arrived different size bolts. I think they're even metric, so they won't fit the threaded pieces in the roof. So I've gone back to the original hardware. So the next problem is, yeah, I thought I'd check the screws and bolts don't fit in the holes. So I don't want to screw those up to there because that'll just smash that. So yeah, I just put one in the lathe and turned it down so the head fits in the down in there now. So I can seal that up. So I'll show you that. A little bit of grab the camera. I'm sort of starting early in the mornings at the moment, trying to smash a bit of this out. I've got other things coming up, so trying to get what I can done. One of the jobs this morning, I brackets on the back of the cab here, managed to get the bolts out, coach bolts, and just ground the rivets off. I knew the corrosion would be an issue on there, so I get those off, clean those plates. Oop, drop everything. And the other thing I did late yesterday afternoon was I've started attacking this cab underneath. So I've had to go at the front there, up around in there, just roughly sanding and using that purple wheel on the air tool, getting what I can. I'd like to sandblast it just lightly with a little gun. I know that I could get it really good with that, but that's not an option in the workshop here. I'm already having a meltdown over the dust on everything. It's just hideous. That paint dust, yeah, it's got damp in the shop here and it just turns to paste and goes to white on everything. It's not something I really want. But anyway, it's happened. I'll just deal with it, keep cleaning. So I'll punch the rivets out I've just ground off and clean the plates up. Showing the evidence that I've cleaned it all up. Use the flat wheel and then the sander on there, and I've just put a bit of primer on that one. The plates are all polished and I've just primed them as well, hanging to dry. Just got to find some bolts now to replace the damaged ones and bolt it all back together soon. Right, here we are in the doghouse. Story of my life. I never seem to get out of one. Trying to get this lining off. It's just, I think it's been glued. Oh, it was a sticky back material when they put it on. I've got a mask on. The dust is just terrible. Not sure how we're going to get this off yet. The old sander might get a bit of a hiding. Be nice if you could burn it off. I don't hate the truck enough yet to set fire to it. That'll come later in life. See what else is out there. The material I used was fine in the cab, but it was just a little bit, it's not very thick compared to what's under here. But it might be the best option. Put it on and it's all heat resistant material. A little bit of gluing, a bit of strapping like I did inside. Just put a strap on there and that'll hold that there. Beneath another one here somewhere. Won't be drilling in there. Be a bit hard on the arse sitting inside the screw sticking through the bunk. One of the other things I'm trying to figure out now is wiring for the city horn. As you would have seen in my previous videos, I fixed all the sensor unit in the column here. So in theory, I'll put the horn button back in top here. Well, testing wise, I know the power side of it works through there, or whatever it's got to do, earth. I'm not sure how that actually works, I haven't figured that out yet. So I've got a wire here, which, yeah, the city horn's underneath and goes into the loom, goes right up into the back of the dash, and I assume there's a relay or some description up there for it, because I don't have a wiring diagram currently. I'll go online and hunt something down. But there's nothing to say all this wiring's correct anyway. There's been a lot of things changed in this truck. I'll test this and see where this gets me. And this, yeah, it's only loose wire I can see here. Apart from everything else I've unplugged. Obviously take the cab off. They're all plugs. I haven't cut any wires. The only ones I did cut were, there was just one or two here. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I just zip tied them, colour coded them, so I know. So there's nothing to do with that, because that never had one on it. So I'll try and figure out how all that works. Haven't done anything else in the cab here regarding installation work for the foam or anything. My goal is to get that roof back on and that window mask fitted. If I can obtain the hardware, do that this coming week. So on that note, I'd like to end it for this one, and as I said before, and I'll keep saying it again, I appreciate the people who follow me, and make sure you smash that subscribe and like button. It does help. I see the numbers are slowly growing, but until I start reassembly and the paint side of it, there's not going to be a lot of action. I do appreciate it, so I'll end it there and say thanks.